welcome back to another episode of the Tales of Agmar podcast. I'm your host, Sinjin, and today we will be finishing the rounding out of Gander's origin story. So hopefully you guys have had a great time. I've had a fantastic time recording these. It's been really fun for me just to kind of share a little bit more of my storytelling, while it's very rough storytelling, than just the world building. While I also really enjoy the world building. But thanks so much for you guys that have been sticking around week to week. It's fun to see you guys always pop up. And it's great to know this is catching some ears, so thank you. And if you're new here, also thank you so much for checking us out. Anyways, if you want to check out the Discord or Ko-fi, they are linked in the show notes below. And without further ado, let's just get into some Tales of Agmar. Under Gander's assumed command, the entire junior class began to set up for the oncoming offensive. He connected everyone through his helmet so they had a shared comm system, similar to what would happen in the field. After setting a few squads into new, more defensible positions, Mace came up to talk to him. "Hey," his friend said, "do you really think we're going to be able to pull this off? The seniors easily outnumber us 3-1 right now." "True," he responded, "but keep in mind that we are on the defensive, and we took out their commanding officer just a few minutes ago. Thanks to that, the morale of our troops should be higher." Mace nodded. "Yes, we did do that," he mentioned, "though not everyone's going to work like a piece in a game. Some of these people are starting to look like this is their first simulation." The observation made Gander pause. He looked out at some of their classmates near him. They definitely looked human. More human than he had ever seen them before. The looks on their faces spoke volumes of what they had just experienced. Perhaps they had just forgotten this was a simulation. Then Mace rested his hand on Gander's shoulder, grounding him in the moment. "See," he said while pointing out another group behind him. "They're just human. Kids even. We're not scout units. And we're not disposable people, so make sure you don't use them like that. Right now, you have their respect and confidence. Do your best not to lose it." Again, Mace got the wheels turning in his head. He adjusted a few more squads into deeper cover, going for protection instead of simple distraction like his prior plan had accounted for. They wouldn't get as many shots off, but at least they would survive. Once that was done, he looked out, and as he met the eyes of different members of his class, they looked a lot more calm. He checked the vitals to double check. It was true. Inside his HUD, their vitals were at a much more optimal range now, steadying back down into what would allow them to think better. He looked back at Mace. "That prior battle experience must have shown you quite a bit." "Maybe," Mace said, distracted, looking over the wall at the tree line. "Once we get out there, you'll see everything I have, though. It's a nasty thing, war." "True, but a necessary one," Gander commented, sure that Mace would agree. "Right now, yes, but in the future, perhaps not," his friend said. A thought entered into Gander's mind, one that had never been there before. Instead of the usual daydreams of fire and war, he thought of a family. A full family with a wife and some kids. He focused in on the girl that had come to mind. Her hair was a shade of... A burst of gunfire sounded to his left, knocking the thought out of his mind. He peeked over the edge. The seniors had passed the tree line and were beginning to fire upon his squads in the cover. He had broken everyone up into squads of 3 or 4 before the battle, giving him a total of 4 squads. He checked who he had put in the positions that were under attack. It was squads 1 and 2. They would need some more backup. He motioned to Mace and their last squad mate, signaling that they would take up a position a few barriers away from fire, giving the seniors another problem to handle. Then he checked in with squad 4. They were some of the best snipers in the class, and had been given orders to hold position inside the second floor of the concrete structure behind them, the true base position. "Be ready," he said. "Don't start shooting until after my squad has engaged the enemy." "Roger," came a feminine voice, complying with orders. Then he followed his team, keeping his head low to avoid enemy fire. They hadn't seen him yet. That gave him hope that this could be a quick and decisive battle. As he neared the rest of his squad, he checked everyone's vitals. So far, only one more casualty had happened. His plan to keep everyone alive was working. "This is Squad 1, came a voice. "The seniors have overrun our position. We need backup, now." Gander checked the vitals again. Another classmate was down. Both had been from Squad 1. Squad 2, there are too many of them. We're currently facing a group of 10 or more. Squad 1 again, I'm the last one. 10 on my side too. Gander knew he needed to move now. The plan was falling apart. Get ready, he told Mace. Empty a mag and then duck back down. We don't need more casualties right now, and there won't be much of us left. He was about to give a second command to their squad mate when he popped up and began firing, emptying his entire mag in seconds, then just standing there, trying to reload. A loud shot sounded in the distance, followed by their third dropping. Sniper! Squad 2 sounded. Gander got on the comms. Retreat to secondary positions. Squad 4 and 3 will provide covering fire. Move it or lose it, people. Mace jumped up and began to fire burst after burst at the approaching seniors. Gander did the same. Together they took out another 3 seniors. Squad 4 dropping another 3. The victory was short-lived, however. Another sniper round sounded, causing Squad 4 to report in. This is Squad 4. We're down one more. Can't find the enemy sniper anywhere. Get into deep cover, Gander commanded them. Dropped behind the concrete wall to reload. We'll make a final stand inside the base. Roger that. Retreating now, Squad 2 said. There was no response from Squad 1. Squad 1, Gander asked. What's your status? Are you headed back to the base? Crickets. He got up to shoot a few more rounds at the seniors, then had to duck once they started to fire back from their now fortified positions behind the barriers they had just taken. Squad 1? He tried again. Nothing. He checked the vitals. They were all gone. One whole squad wiped out. He had 7 people left aside from himself. We're inside the base, Squad 2 announced. You coming, Gander? He got up and fired 2 more bursts before ducking. Will do. Give us some cover. Roger that. Awaiting your motion. He looked over at Mace. You ready for another run? Again? He chuckled. Didn't we run this morning? True. But let's hurry. I don't plan on giving the seniors a win over their simple tactics. Same here, he replied, then got up and fired another burst before dropping again. Ready when you are. Gander got up and fired. Go, 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 he yelled. We'll trade off. Mace sprinted a few yards, dropping behind another barrier. Once he was safe, Gander dropped down too, and oriented himself to sprint as soon as he saw Mace get up. As if he was thinking the same, his friend sprung up and fired off a few rounds. Gander exploded into action and began to run as fast as he could over to where Mace was. Another sniper round sounded off, causing both to drop to the ground. Dang it, Mace said. They caught on to us. For the love of Ellon, Gander whispered under his breath. Are they targeting us? It makes sense, Mace said. Have you checked the leaderboards? Oh no, what's up? We currently are both the highest scorers, naturally marking us as targets for the other team. Oh, Gander said. You know, I'm starting to feel this would be easier if it was real. Mace laughed. Perhaps, but this is as real as it's going to get right now. Fair. They both cowered in silence for a few minutes as bullets whizzed overhead. Gander, came a panicked voice over the comms. They're getting closer. You almost by the entrance? Negative, he responded. Then an idea came to him. Does anyone have a flashbang left? Sure, came someone from Squad 2. I've got 2. Where you want them? Perfect. How far up are the seniors? About midway. They're currently held back by our combined efforts, but we haven't been able to take anyone out. Okay. Gander continued with his plan. That's perfect. I'm going to count down from 3. On go, I need you to throw those right at the seniors, Squad 4. Squad 2, I'm going to need you to begin closing the sequence for the doors. Roger that, both teams said. Then he looked at Mace and nodded. 3, the gunfire seemed to build up around him. 2, Gander had to slow his breathing to focus. 1, a bullet flew right over Mace, causing him to duck further. Go! Gander held back his hand for his friend to wait, while they waited to hear the twing of metal on the concrete ground. Seconds passed. Nothing. He was beginning to think the thrower had been taken out. Then he heard it. The soft ping of metal as it hit the ground. He and Mace got up to move, looking only at the concrete base beside them. A loud pop sounded behind as they ran. The sound of fighting quieted down as it was replaced with light whirling in everyone's ears. They both looked ahead. The doors before them were already closing, just as planned, though something was off. He ran some calculations in his head and realized that they were closing much faster than he had anticipated. Mace, he turned back to his friend, seeing the stunned seniors in the background, some picking themselves up after falling. We need to hurry. On it. You just make sure you get there too. Mace began to progressively overtake him, then outrun him, making it into the base with plenty of the time. Gander, however, was only able to pick up his speed by a small amount, causing his body to begin to waver under the pressure. The door seemed to be faster than him too. The process must have been fixed since the last exercise, he thought to himself. He continued to pump his legs, desperately trying to make them go faster. His right arm reached through the door. Gander noted that he would need to turn 90 degrees to make it through. He naturally adjusted his body to make it happen, then felt a strong grip on his arm. It was Mace. He yanked terribly hard on his right, causing him to almost fall off his feet before he pushed from the ground and landed on the floor. Then the door sealed and locked behind him. "Whoa," he exclaimed. "Thanks, Ellon, we made it." "You're telling me," Mace said through gasps of air. "You sure took your time." Both laid on the ground, gulping in chunks of air. After a few seconds, and his lightheadedness went away, Gander got up from the ground. "Okay," he said. "What's the news on where the enemy is now?" "It would seem right at our front door," one of the others said. Gander checked the security footage of the one camera the base had. "Ah, it would seem so." "So," another said, causing everyone to look at Gander and Mace. "What's the game plan?" "Easy," he said. "We win. But first we need to deal with that sniper. Anyone got a spare helmet?" They gathered up a helmet from one of their fallen classmates. Then a rifle that was left on the ground, empty after Mace stole the half mag in it. Gander went over the plan. "We're going to have to assume that there is more than one sniper," he said to everyone. "The idea is to take this helmet, put it on the butt of the gun. Everyone will hide behind cover, and someone will lift the helmet up over and over. When the enemy fires, it'll be your job," he looked over at the snipers, "to trace the shots back from where it is. Mace and I will stay down here for the eventual arrival of the seniors. Do we have any grenades left?" Mace raised his hand. "I got one." "Anyone else?" Gander asked. All he got back were head shakes. He turned to the snipers. "Did any of you guys happen to get string?" "Oh," one of them said. "I did. Do you need it?" Perfect, Gander said. "Toss it over and then set up on the second floor. I'll tell you guys what to do next." He got the string from the sniper and handed it to Mace while the others walked up the stairs to the raised position, careful not to give away their repositioning to the sniper in the woods. Once they were all done, he got confirmation over the comms. "All right, Gander, what's next?" He examined the balcony-like level where the rest were, then the pillars around the base that held the roof up. "I need you to take positions on the second floor that will give you an uninterrupted view of the first floor, Squad 2. Squad 4, one of you will actually need to lift the helmet up. The other two will find the sniper or snipers. Wait until I give you the signal to start." The comm was filled with the low hum of yes sir and chatter as people repositioned. "This commander role suits you quite well, my friend," Mace said. "Are you sure you just want to be an ace operator? You would make a phenomenal impact as a naval captain or marine general. You could do so much good for the Republic." "I probably could," Gander started. "But if I can stop full-blown war before it starts, then that's better, I think. We both know that war right now is a constant in the Republic, but we both want it not to be. The ACE program might be the way to make that happen." "That's true," Mace said. "I guess right now they're really only used for securing landing zones and a few behind-the-scenes missions during engagements. The assassinating of key individuals like what we just did would be a great benefit. You'd use a lot less military hardware that way, or at least make it easier to win large engagements in the long term." "Exactly. Now let's set this trap." Together, the two followed the Ellonist Marine Field Manual's instructions on how to set up a simple tripwire and grenade trap. It would definitely take out a number of seniors as they entered the room. Then he motioned for Mace to take up a position in the back of the room, the darkened areas obscuring his figure. "Okay," he announced to everyone. "Are you all in position?" Everyone began to check in. "Squad 2, in position. Squad 4, in position. Mace, ready and waiting." He loved it when a plan turned out. "Perfect. Squad 4, you may start flushing the sniper when ready." "Roger that, sir. Flushing the sniper now." came the reply. Gander waited by the door, calmly and quietly, while the team raised and lowered the helmet above, waiting for their hidden enemy to strike. He tried listening through the door, in case the seniors outside were talking to anyone. Though he couldn't hear anything, the door must have been thickened after the last time as well. A few more seconds passed. Then a single shot echoed into the base. The helmet was knocked off the rifle. He waited a few seconds before asking, "Did you see him?" No reply. Panic was beginning to build in Gander. If they didn't get rid of whoever was back there, it was going to be a long simulation. As he continued to wait, he heard a subtle ticking on the other side of the door. His eyes widened as the ticking got faster, the seconds between the beeps slowly winding down until milliseconds were passing by. Then he heard an explosion ring out, causing him to jump away from the door. "Did the shot scare you, Gander?" Mace asked. "What?" he said, expecting to be dead already. "The shot," Mace said. "Squad 4 took the shot at the enemy sniper." Another voice crackled in. "That is confirmed." A huge, simulated explosion knocked the door, causing it to open and spill smoke out of hidden valves. "The base is breached," Mace yelled. "Gander, get back here." Gander quickly pulled himself off the floor and scurried over where Mace was. "Oh my," he said, breath taken away from him. "I had no idea that was a thing the seniors had at their disposal. Break charges were not in the briefing." "Yeah," Mace said while getting ready to receive the incoming attackers. "Like we had much of a briefing." The seniors walked into the room, weapons pouring ammunition all over the place. The first group of 3 walked in, tripping the grenade at the front, causing them to fall. Gander watched the enemy count drop to 13, giving him a little more hope in winning this. The next group came in. Gander and Mace stayed hiding their position behind pillars in the back, ready to cut off anyone who got far enough. As they waited, a dull tension began to fill the room. Gander could almost feel how on edge everyone was. Footsteps wandering through the front, slowly making their way to the center. Then they slowed. Squad 2 opened fire on the approaching seniors, causing the count to drop again, this time to 9. "We just might make it through this," Mace whispered through the comms. "Perhaps," Gander whispered back. Next came a loud thudding of footsteps, the remaining seniors rushing into the room, pointing their guns at the top floor, letting off a few rounds as Squad 2 moved to get out of the way and find new cover. Gander nodded to Mace, and the two peeked around the corner, firing round after round into the stunned seniors. Then the rest of their classmates joined in, firing upon the seniors until all 9 members registered as dead for the simulation. Then it stopped. The weapons locked up, unable to fire. "Simulation over," came the familiar robotic voice. "Seniors terminated. Juniors win." The remainder of Gander's class all circled around him, excited over their victory. Many of the seniors whose armor had previously locked up were released and began walking back to their muster point at the far side of the training grounds. The proctor for the juniors' mill sim then walked through the base doors. "Congratulations!" He looked at the 8 remaining juniors. "You 8 have proven yourselves during this simulation, especially you 2. He motioned to Gander and Mace. "I'll recommend the 2 of you for the ace path immediately. Should the head proctor approve, you won't need to pass the entrance simulation for it at the end of the year." Gander and Mace high-fived each other. "Can you believe that?" Mace said. "And here I was just hoping that we'd be able to make it through this simulation without docking our grade." The proctor left the room. "I know, right?" Gander said as everyone began to leave. "This is fantastic. Not only did we prove that Jared could be taken down, but we made it. We impressed the proctor. This is fantastic, Mace." The 2 clasped hands and united as brothers. Okay. Thanks so much for listening to the end of Gander's origin story, everyone. If you enjoyed this, please let me know. I had a great time smoothing out for you guys from my notes. Also, let me know about the speed. I notice I'm progressively getting a lot faster as we keep going, as I get more comfortable, doing and basically talking to myself. But definitely, please let me know. And if you're new here, please consider hitting that follow or subscribe button and turn on notifications to join us next week at 7 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. We would love to have you guys come and join us every single week. It's going to be a nice long episode. I'm just going to combine all of Gander's episodes into one easy to listen format. That way when people come back or you guys want to listen to this again, right, you can just pop it in and go, and you won't be interrupted constantly by my little intro and outros for each episode. And also, just as a little thing, I thought it would be interesting, especially since I didn't have time to do it, but I'm going to be adding probably just like a few more minutes of like a different ending. Like it will still end the same how this one did, but it'll just be like an additional ending, kind of like a continued epilogue for just a little bit. Anyways, quick book update for y'all though before I go. It's going along super well. Obviously next week I'll have another update as well. The only problem right now is just I'm trying to figure out how to tie up all the loose ends and prepare them for book 2, since there will be a book 2, as well as not just write a whole nother book, as that's kind of what book 2 is supposed to be. So stay tuned for that. And as usual, this has been Sinjin with Tales of Agmar, and wherever you are, be good one.